Hello there. Have you ever tried your hand on WAAKYE stew before? Did it turn out well for you? If no, then it could be that you mixed one or two ingredients. Let me show you how to make authentic and perfect WAAKYE stew at home. In my pan, I add in fresh tomatoes. You don't need to chop your tomatoes, okay? Then I add onions. I add 3 cloves of garlic and also 5 habanero pepper. And I go ahead and add little amount of water, okay? Not too much. And then we cover this and allow this to cook for about 10 to 15 minutes. So I turn on my heat. Is almost 15 minutes now, and as you can see, the pepper, the onions, everything in here is tender now. So I turn off my heat. Here I got my blender, and then go ahead and transfer everything into the blender. We are going to blend this without water. Don't add additional water here, okay, unless your blender cannot blend without water. So guys, I'm going to blend this off camera. I'll be back. Hello there, we are back. Let me open for you to see how puey our tomato is. Guys, look at this, and this smells so good. We set this aside and go ahead and make our all-purpose seasoning. This is half teaspoon of rosemary, half teaspoon of black pepper, half teaspoon of anise seed, and then half teaspoon of cumin seed. Then we blend all together, and our all-purpose seasoning is ready. We set this aside, and here comes our dried herrings. It's optional, but guys, if you add it to your WAAKYE stew, it's going to take your stew to another level. So we turn this into powdered form, but not too powdered, okay? In my pan, I pour in vegetable oil. You can use any oil of your choice, but mostly it's vegetable oil, okay? We allow it to heat up small, and then we add our onions to it. Exercise patience for your onions to infuse its flavor in the oil is very important, okay? So when your onions start to turn brown, then we go ahead and add our tomatoes to it. And then we stir everything together. I'm doing this on medium heat. With time, we will turn our heat to low, okay? At this point, I go ahead and add my tomato paste and then stir all together. Now I add ginger powder. You can also use the fresh one, okay? And also the all-purpose seasoning we just made. We add everything to it, and then we stir all together. Guys, if you want to get a very nice WAAKYE stew, then you got to follow my method and also the ingredients I'm using here, okay? Now I'll go ahead and add my seasoning. You can use any seasoning of your choice, okay? And then I add the dried herrings. I realized that it's too much, so I'm going to leave some for another day, okay? And anytime that I make stew, I always tell you guys that salt should be the last thing you add to your stew, okay? So here I add my roasted meat. You can also use fried meat, but when it comes to fresh meat, you have to cook it first before you add it to your stew, okay? Don't just add your fresh meat straight into your stew. It's a big no-no. Don't do that. You can also use fish as well. It's just a protein, so you can use any protein of your choice. It's not a force to use meat, okay? So at this point, I taste my stew, and then I add salt to it. Tasting your stew before adding salt is very, very important, guys. If you taste your stew first, it will give you a clue on the amount of salt you should add, so that you will not end up by getting too salty stew. At this point, our stew is almost ready. As you can see, it's almost ready. So I'll go ahead and add 3 eggs to my stew. That one too is optional, but hey, it goes well with waakye. Yes, adding egg to your stew and match it with waakye is just perfect. Okay, so I then add my 3 eggs. And there you go, our stew is ready. Here I got my waakye. I have a recipe on that. I will upload it very soon. Then I add my 1 egg, 1 meat, and then 1 fish, guys. The proteins are too much, so it's not balanced, okay? But because of content purposes, this shouldn't be a diet for one person, okay? Yes, so here I add my vegetables. Don't eat waakye without adding vegetables to it, okay? If you go out there to buy waakye, don't buy waakye and then buy spaghetti. No, it's a bad combination. Rather buy cabbage, lettuce, or any other vegetables, okay? But not spaghetti. Guys, our waakye tastes very good and it goes well with our stew. I have a friend who always tells me that anytime that she makes waakye stew, she doesn't get the amaria and the hajia taste in the stew. And I say, hey, if not you, I have never heard of amaria and hajia taste. So if you also want to get the amaria and the hajia taste in our waakye stew, just like my friend used to tell me, then you got to follow my method and the ingredients, and you will get that perfect waakye stew you always wanted. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Until I see you on my next video, stay blessed. Bye, y'all.